scoring this season has been kind of like off the charts. Like, why all of a sudden are we seeing this shift in more offensive and skilled players, AJ?
Well, I don't think we actually are seeing a shift compared to the last 2 years. Let's remember both of those seasons were shortened to one degree or another. If you look at the point per game pace, 8 players last year would have put up 100 points over an 82 game season, which makes the fact that McDavid did it in 56 games last year all the more ridiculous. And in 2018-19, you would have potentially had 9 guys capable of hitting that mark, again, if they had played full 82 game seasons. So really, this isn't anything new. It's just a fact of the game. We have guys putting up big numbers. You know, it was a couple of years ago, they made the goalies wear the slightly tighter pants, the small, I mean, they're making the goalies work for it these days. And they're just, I haven't pulled up the numbers on this, but I don't think we've seen quite as many shutouts over the last few years either. So yeah, it's not a recent trend, that's for sure.
Well, Paul, like I'm looking at Hockey Reference, we're looking at an average of 3.12 goals are being scored by each team per game this season. That's the highest mark in the Cap era. Like we haven't seen this many goals scored since 95-96. The average then was 3.14.
You know what? We're seeing that particularly on the power plays. You're seeing a team close to my heart has a success rate over 30%. We have not seen that before. Many teams are upwards of 25 even. We haven't seen that with any great regularity. And it's all about the level of aggression, both from the attacking team and the forechecking team. Aggression leads to mistakes. Aggression leads to opportunity. It's one of those two paths is going to lead to more scoring chances either way. And that's what's happening. We're seeing more scoring chances in those special teams opportunities, but also in the regular course of play. Even with the net empty situation, we're seeing a higher percentage of goal scoring because, again, the teams are really making smarter use of putting pressure on the goal rather than being passive in their attack and conversely passive on the defensive side of the puck. Again, I'll use the Leafs as an example. They've got 13 shorthanded goals. That's amazing so far this season. And it's because they're really putting pressure on the opposing power plays. So it's that level of aggression and the corresponding increase in mistakes that's leading to the higher scoring in my estimation.
Yeah, and AJ, I think the Panthers last night won their 8th straight game. Like, they're at the forefront of this new trend, too. They're averaging nearly 4.2 goals per game. That's the highest mark since your Penguins back in 95-96. No other team in that span, AJ, has averaged over 4 per game.
Yeah, I mean, there's just, I think there's, in addition to the goalie changes, the rule changes have made it easier to, get power plays, and teams are taking advantage of it, as Paul said. But, there's more stick infractions being called, stuff like that. So you have more opportunities on the power play. And I would not expect this trend to change anytime soon. Goalies have, in some cases, adapted, and in others, they haven't. And we're seeing guys that aren't holding up in the same ways that they necessarily used to.